every piece is a story. Every piece has a journey in its negotiation, in its the previous owners, and why and how it ended up here at the Intan. In my 30 years of collecting traveling journey, many people come and go along the way. Definitely, my father is a huge source of inspiration. He financed a good portion of the collection when I was much younger. He accompanied me to the museums, to auction houses, and we had fun in those days, in Christie's auction. And I guess he was equally excited, curious, but equally lost as I was. One would say the blind leading the blind. So here you have a father and son pair going to Christie's auction and trying to learn about Peranakan antiques. We would, whenever we travel to Malacca, to Penang, to parts of Indonesia, we would visit antique shops, we would discuss. I would consult him, and I still do, when a collection comes my way, and to ask him, what do you think about the valuation, what do you think of the pieces. We differ sometimes, but generally it's a great way to have a relationship with your father. The most emotional story I would share is of a dear friend, and she visited me, and she said that she do have such pieces, this lovely piece of porcelain with smaller pieces. And I said, I said, nice. I said, are you want to sell, right? And she said, no lah, I think not now lah. But never underestimate the perseverance of an antique collector. So we kept in contact, and I Facebook messaged her. And at a certain point, after a few years, she said, yeah, I think it's time for me to let it go lah, because my sons and my children don't seem to be interested lah. So a few years passed, and I met her again, and then I said, why don't you come and have a look at the piece that you sold me ah? So she came immediately that week, and she sat exactly just on the left, and she looked at the porcelain just across her, and she was very happy, of course, to see her piece there, and so we chatted for a while, and so the next few days, she left for Alaska, and I left for Shanghai, where my sister used to live. And when I was in Shanghai, I received a call, I received a message. My dear friend, unfortunately, who I went to Alaska, was involved in an accident, and her cabin caught fire, and she didn't make it out alive. Yeah, and of course, the lump went through my throat lah. That no, it can't be true. I just saw her just before I left, right? And so the first person I contacted was her boyfriend lah, because I said, hey, how you coping ah? And of course, he was very upset, that he wasn't there for her, and then we spoke about their visit lah. And he says, you don't know how happy you made her that day, because after your house, after visiting your home, we went back and she took out all her other things, and she was looking them, and she was so proud that her piece that she has invested in and she has passed it over to you was your pride and joy. Yeah, in this world of collecting, I think we are reminded they're not just these are just material things. I've seen sometimes not so nice episodes or experiences, with fighting and rushing, but at the end of the day, these are materials. I think it all boils down to the stories behind them. Yeah. Peranakan culture is a mix of culture between the Chinese, the Malay, and with very strong European influence. So many of the values are really Chinese values and Malay values, and things like filial piety, being civic-minded. Many Peranakans are known to contribute to the community. They build hospitals and schools and donate money to to the government, and they have road names after them, and these are very Confucianism, very Chinese behaviors, The Malays are known to be very easygoing. They enjoy life for what it is. They're very family oriented, and that's very Peranakan as well. So I would say these are values that we've adopted from the different cultures that make up the Peranakan culture. Hi, my name is Alvin. I'm the proud owner of the Intan, and I support truth and tradition.